We're going to talk about the importance of scheduling here for the University of Arizona, what all that means, and some player evals. Let's get started here on Locked On Wildcats.
You are Locked On Wildcats, your daily podcast on the Arizona Wildcats, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
For keeping it locked on Wildcats, I am your host, Mike Luke. Thanks for making this your first listen of the day. All right, Arizona Hoops is over in Jerusalem. Obviously, we've been talking a great deal about that. We're also going to talk about the importance of scheduling difficult, because that is something that Tommy Lloyd has done and has done a very, very good job of. We are very proud of Tommy Lloyd for doing that. But first, let's talk about the importance of scheduling difficult. First and foremost, I think the thing that we all need to look at is that under Lloyd Olson, Arizona's schedule difficult. There was no doubt about it whatsoever that Arizona was going to play the best teams that they could play, and Arizona was going to play the best teams they could play, and sometimes the Pac-12 was good, sometimes it wasn't. But at the end of the day, you knew that Arizona was going to be playing good teams and that they were going to put it all out there. That is a little bit different. That was a little bit different under Sean Miller, and this isn't meant to beat up Sean Miller because Sean Miller did some very good things, no doubt about it. But Sean Miller certainly didn't like scheduling tough, and that was kind of lame, to be honest with you. Tommy Lloyd likes scheduling tough. And you can tell that by this upcoming season. You have already got Duke. You got Michigan State. You got Alabama. You've got Wisconsin, and you got Purdue. If there is a tougher out-of-conference schedule in the country, I would like to see it. I say there is not. As a matter of fact, I would be shocked if there is a tougher out-of-conference schedule. And a lot of that, though, is because Tommy Lloyd comes from Gonzaga, where they obviously do things a little bit different there because they have to schedule tough out of self-preservation. That is what you like about Tommy Lloyd and what he's doing there at Gonzaga. At the University of Arizona. Now, I think obviously going into the Big 12, it's going to be interesting because the Big 12 is a loaded conference. And not only is the Big 12 a loaded conference, but they're all different kinds of teams. You got physical teams, you got fast teams, you got all of these teams right there, and drastically different styles, great coaches. You got Bill Self, you got Scott Drew, you've got a bunch of great coaches, like I said. A couple things, though, that, it will be interesting to see. Will Tommy Lloyd actually continue to schedule this tough? Tommy Lloyd continue to schedule this tough, or as tough as this? I don't know that. But I can understand it either way because, again, you're going into the best conference in college basketball. You've obviously got the Duke home and home already, so that's certainly something to keep in mind. But I could also see Tommy Lloyd saying that, we don't need to schedule as tough now because we got good teams. Or I could just see Tommy Lloyd saying, screw it. We are going to schedule tough, and we're going to play a gauntlet each year. And you know what? If we're 29-7 going into it, then so be it. We're going to be 29-7, but we are going to be ready for conference play. And not only are we going to be ready for conference play, we are going to be ready for any kind of style, any kind of game that people bring our way. And I think that's what's exciting about all this is that we're going to get to watch good games. And not only that, we're not going to have to wait till the NCAA tournament before we see the first good team that we're going to play. That is what is exciting. That's what I think that a lot of people want to see. Certainly me right there. That's for sure. All right. But that's kind of where it is with Tommy Lloyd and scheduling and the importance of it. Also, you can start recruiting a different kind of athlete as well. If you know that we got to get a little bit more physical, we got to get a little bit stronger, whatever the case may be, you can do that. And that's because you have a more difficult just a good roster. Now, let's talk about the roster that's going to enter the Big 12 there. But first, eBay Motors. All right, let's get this one up here right here. eBay Motors. All right. eBay Motors, the right parts, the right fit, the right prices. eBay guaranteed fit, only available to U.S. customers. All right. The great thing about this is that you can just cut out the middleman. And not only can you cut out the middleman, you can save a lot of money in the process. And who does not like saving money in the process? I know I do, and I know that you do because you're smart, because you're listening. Check it out, ebaymotors.com. The right parts, the right fit, the right prices. eBay guaranteed fit, only available to U.S. customers. Remember, only available to U.S. customers. Check it out, though. Good stuff going on right there. The right parts, the right fit, the right prices. I know multiple people that have used eBay Motors, and there's not one person on there that has said, yeah, I didn't like any of this, or whatever the case may be. eBay Motors is where it's at, and I think that's pretty self-explanatory. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back with you. Thanks for keeping it locked on Wildcats and making this your first listen of the day. I am your host, Mike Luke. All right, now let's talk about some of the players that are going to be on this roster. First and foremost, we all know about Jamari Phillips and Carter Bryant. 5-star kids, different players. One's a wing, one's a guard, but they're both going to be ready to play almost immediately. And not only are they going to be able to play immediately, they're going to be able to essentially step in right there. And not only step in, but I think they're going to be able to play immediately. And I think it wouldn't surprise me at all to be honest with you, if Jamari Phillips turns out to be actually a little bit better than people think, at least initially. Now, again, could be wrong on this, but I don't think I am wrong on this. A couple things, though, that are very that I think we definitely need to know, though, is that what kind of players are they going to be? Jamari Phillips is a scorer, and not only is he a scorer, he's a player that can get to the basket in a variety of different ways, and not only get to in a variety of different ways, he can also get there and score. Carter Bryant, same exact way with Carter Bryant, and I apologize for having some more technical issues. This seems to happen on Fridays. But with Carter Bryant, you've also got a player that can score from a variety of angles. Big dude, 6'8", can be a little bit of a stretch 4, can also play the 3. Like I said, got a little bit of Jason Tatum in him. That's how I think that we need to look at him. And I think Tommy Lloyd is going to use him perfectly because honestly, this is a player that is made for this is a player that is made for Tommy Lloyd. And not only is it made for Tommy Lloyd, he is a guy who is he is a player that he understands. He's a good passer. Not only is he a good passer, he can finish at the hoop, and he's just overall a good kid. Probably a one and done, maybe at the worst a 2 and done, but either way, you're going to take that right there. So that's those two. Let's talk about some of the others on the other side. Thanks for keeping it locked on Wildcats and making this your first listen of the day. I am your host, Mike Luke. All right, now we got more to get to right here. Not only do we have more to get to here, we've got a variety of things. Players on the team. KJ Lewis. A lot of people were down on KJ Lewis. I am not down on KJ Lewis. Not only am I not down on KJ Lewis, I think he's going to be a star at the U of A. Might take him a year or two. I don't really care. He's going to get there, and when he gets there, he's going to be a problem. Big fan of him right there. Then we got Dylan Anderson. I like Dylan. We got to get the bike back, obviously, but Dylan Anderson, and then Montius Krivas, they're going to be monsters in the Big 12. And then you got Paulius Morauskas as well. He can do some stuff. You got Jaden Bradley as well. And there's, like I said, there's a variety of different players that you got. That's why I think that this team is going to be equipped to be able to play pretty well in the Big 12 almost immediately. And not only play pretty well, but to be able to compete with the big dogs. Now, again, Kansas is awesome. Kansas is always going to be awesome, but I don't believe there's any reason that Arizona can't be in that realm. They've been in that realm before. I believe they can be in that realm again. All right. Taking a little bit of a shorter show today. Again, I do apologize. Had some technical issues right here, but on that note, we'll be back with you. We're going to break down the conference tomorrow or on Monday, and got some other stuff going on there as well. But as always, thanks for keeping it locked on Wildcats and making this your first listen of the day.